J. Hector de Crevecoeur, Letters from an American Farmer, The French-American by Laura Navarro. J. Hector de Crevecoeur was born on December 31st, 1735, in Caen, Normandy, France. Originally named Michel Guillaume Jean de Crevecoeur, he was a Jesuit-educated French aristocrat who went to Canada as a soldier and was a cartographer for the French during the 7 Years' War and was a surveyor after the 7 Years' War. And had 3 kids. He lived on a farm called Pine Hill. He took the persona Farmer James to write Letters from an American Farmer. The American Revolution disrupted his peaceful farm life, so he and his son attempted to reclaim some land in France, where he was arrested as an American spy, then was shipwrecked following that. Despite all the adversities he endured, his personal writings survived and became the basis for Letters from an American Farmer. Were fascinated by American culture, so Crevecoeur was very popular with some celebrity status. Then, in 1783, he returned to America to discover that his wife had died, and all of his children were living with strangers. He managed to get his children back, to then move to New York City as a French consul to New York. John de Crevecoeur returned to Paris in 1790 and retired to Normandy in 1793. On November 12, 1813, he passed away in the home of his daughter. He left a legacy of a famous American author who was not even American, Letters to an American Farmer, by J. Hector Street, John de Crevecoeur. De Crevecoeur depicts America as a place where the rich and poor are not so far removed from one another as they are in Europe. Crevecoeur 323. This quote from his writing led me to believe that American society was not as strict with success as Europe was. There was a fair playing field for citizens to have been economically prosperous. In Europe, it seemed to have a major gap between the wealthy and the poor. As in America, with hard work it was possible to achieve improvement in life. In his writings of Letters from an American Farmer, he goes into great detail of how a person's character or identity is determined by their environment. People are influenced by the opportunities of America and how that can push one to work hard and explore American opportunities, which is different compared to Europe and the society there. The laws and practices of America are highly emphasized as a positive living experience for citizens. Crevecoeur states, "The goodness and flavor of the fruit proceeds from the peculiar soil and exposition in which they grow." Crevecoeur 326. This quote led me to infer that just as soil can grow plants and crops, America can make a citizen grow in their environment, much different than in Europe. Americans are able to thrive and flourish with simple hard work and dedication by seizing new and open opportunities. J. Hector Street, John de Crevecoeur, encourages the idea of how remarkable it was to live in America in the late 18th century and describes how to be a proper and equal American in his famous literary letters titled Letters from an American Farmer. The major theme of this writing is that in America there is a grand opportunity for everyone who chooses to seize it and make a living for oneself. This text was meant to encourage people to appreciate the life of an American so that they would want that lifestyle for themselves. This text emphasizes life and success in America that still impacts our culture and values now. Everyone is constantly working to make a living, which is something that has always been present in our country. Everyone may not be farmers, but the overall work ethic expectations still exist. Why did you choose this text? I chose this text because I genuinely believe this writing helped define America's identity as a place where people can achieve an independent, rewarding life, where people can grow and learn while having the freedom to be who they want to be with no constrictions. Essentially expressing the American dream so many people desire to have. I also like the text because I am inclined to think times were simpler back then. But I also realize that life was just as challenging for people living in that time as it is today for those who lived in the 18th century. This engaging, encouraging, and relevant book reached 8 editions in 5 countries within 2 years and made Crevecoeur well known. He was a member of France's Academy of Sciences and appointed French consul to 3 states in America. Crevecoeur translated and expanded the original 12 essays before becoming consul in 1784-87 by a 3-volume edition. The French and English versions of both of his books were translated into many other European languages. He was held in high regard by European readers and fellow writers for a number of years, in part due to the author's created character, James, the American farmer. Letters from an American Farmer, a notable literary work by J. Hector St. John de Crevecoeur, emphasizes how wonderful it was to live in America during the late 18th century. The environment in America in this era would make a citizen evolve differently than in Europe. When Americans seize new and open opportunities, they can thrive and flourish. Even now, this idea is still strongly valued and emphasized.